everybody, welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here, hope you're all well. If you are new to my channel, you are very welcome here and we would love to hear from you. If it is your first time watching one of our videos, don't forget to leave a comment at the bottom and give us a little wave and say hi. We always love to have the opportunity to meet with new people. If you are returning regular viewers, it's always lovely to have you back joining us. Just a quick reminder, we are in the middle of the 100 days junk journal inspiration collaboration. Gosh, that's a mouthful. And we are now going into week 10 and I am so excited to be bringing you the final kit of the collaboration. We have for this kit gone with a theme, a sewing theme, a seamstress theme, you know, however you want to look at it. And the name of the kit is Journal de la Couturière, which means dressmaker's journal. So that's kind of the theme and the thought process behind what I've done with the papers and the pages here. I do have a little video for you so you can have a quick look and a flip through of all of the pages. Just so you know, before I put the video on, there are 4 different kits. Here we are. If I show you here, you have got the main journal kit, which is the journal pages, which you can see on the desk here in front of me. Then you've got a backgrounds kit. Then there's an ephemera kit and there's an add-on kit. I'll explain to you about the bumper kit in a moment. But if you want to have a quick flip through. Okay, I hope you loved them. Aren't they fabulous? I'm so pleased. I just had the idea in my mind and it just ran with it, and thankfully, with lots of help from God, I think, and some inspiration from Bella and my wonderful admin team, we managed to pull it all together, thankfully. So I hope you love the pages. Now, if you are a Ko-fi subscriber, your members kit is now available for you to go and download from the Ko-fi shop. And in the Ko-fi shop, just for the Ko-fi members, there's a mini ultimate bundle for you, the bumper kit of the remaining kits then that you can get at a much discounted price, obviously because you are Ko-fi members. For those of you who are not Ko-fi members, if you want to make your way over to our website, link is in the description box below, and you'll find the 4 kits available on the website shop. But if you want to purchase all 4, do go for the ultimate bumper kit instead, because you can have all 4 of them and it's a discount because you're buying them all together. All right, so it's our bundle for this month. So if you've been following the collabs up until now, you'll have seen we've done that with the other 2 as well. It's actually been very well received, so thank you for all your lovely feedback, because it's always good to know that we are listening, adapting and, you know, getting it right with things. So you know, we always welcome lots of good constructive feedback, and if we can ever make the experience easier for yourselves, all the better. Just to mention quickly, I have had a couple of emails from people who've had problems saying they're having difficulties accessing the link or that they don't have Google Drive. Just to clarify, when you purchase your kit, you will receive a document. In the document, it'll say, click here to download, and then you just click the button and it'll take you to the Google Drive where you can then just download the kit from there. So you don't have to have Google Drive. that's just the internet page. It's like a website where I'm storing the files, okay? Because the kits are so big, it's very difficult for me to, and it takes ages otherwise for me to upload them all into the website. It's much quicker to do it this way. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't had as many messages as I normally have, so I think the system is working. So that's brilliant. And also, if you are in the US and you're a bit nervous about using the website, when you check out, it will convert with your bank over to dollars, so please don't be worried about that. And if you're wondering what the daily conversion rate is, if you just go to Google and just type in convert US dollars to British pounds, and it'll tell you exactly how much it'll be on the day, because obviously there's no point me telling you here, because every day the exchange rate changes, doesn't it? Okay, so that's housekeeping. Sorry guys, my voice is going again. Sorry about that, I haven't warmed it up yet this morning. You don't realise when you're in the house on your own for hours, you're not speaking, how your voice doesn't kick in, does it? Right. Gosh, my mother will laugh at me saying that. Rachel's voice not kicked in. When is it not kicked in? Okay, so we're on to week 10. Very exciting. So today you have got me, Rachel and Bella Crafts, and then my mum, Bella. She's over at Bella's Crafty Studio. So on a Saturday, we do the freebie challenge, and I create a couple of freebies which I put up in our Ko-fi shop. The link is in the description box down below. Make sure you go and get your freebies, and then Bella creates something with them and I create something with them. So obviously it gives you two different ideas of what you can do. Now this week was particularly challenging for me because obviously the title of the week is mixed media journaling. Guys, you've got all these amazing creators taking part this week. I'm just looking through here and I've got a funny feeling that they're all my design team members this week. So please, please, please guys, go and show them your support. Go and check out their videos and leave them lots of lovely comments and likes. Remind me about that in a minute. I will come back to speak to you about that in a sec. Now, where's the freebies, Rachel? That's what they all want to know. Where are the freebies? Okay, so this week's freebies are, if you haven't been to Bella's channel yet, make sure you go over and check out what she does, her tutorial. So I've done this one here at Bella's request. She's got a very, very exciting project for you today, guys. I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch her video. But yes, go and check out what she's doing. This was her idea, so go and find out what she's done with this freebie sheet. And I've also done you this beautiful freebie sheet here because I felt they were a plethora, you know I love that word, a plethora of ideas of things that you could do using this page. So we'll talk about that further in a moment. These are over on the Ko-fi page. Now, in addition to that, make sure you now, this is on our website by the way guys, and it'll also be available with the freebie. It will have been up with last week's freebie, so you should already have it, but if you forgot to download it. Now what I've also done, sorry, just have a quick drink, sorry guys. Hay fever has well and truly kicked in, but we're not complaining. We've had most beautiful weather here this week. It's been wonderful to have the sun out. Anyway, what I've done for you is I've done you a cheat sheet, a mixed media idea cheat sheet for you. So you can download this, print it off, and I've actually done it in 2 sizes for you. Save you faffing with the printer. So I've done you it in A5, so you could fold that in half. You could even put that in a journal. If you've got an ideas journal, you can put that in as a page. I'm going to pop mine up on my notice board like that. But for the sake of our video, so you can see, I've done it nice and big. Now, Bella's going to say, oh, she didn't show me those. Sorry, Mum, I've literally just done this quickly before my video. Just something that I was thinking about, because when we think of mixed media, I think traditionally, well, I don't know about you, but I've always tended to think, oh, mixed media means like messy play, you know, all that kind of thing. But it doesn't actually just mean that. It doesn't mean paint. It doesn't just mean ink. It doesn't just mean, you know. So as you will see, I'm going down the fabrics and sewing route today. Obviously, because I want it to fit in with the theme of the journal. But I'm also going to try, if I've got time, and to work in a couple of other elements from these lists. So I've given you 10. This is by no means an exhaustive list, but I have given you 10 examples, subject examples. So you've got stamps and stenciling, and then ideas of how you can do that. You know, your texture paste, embossing, all that sort of stuff. Layers and flips, flip-ups, fold-outs, layered pockets, interactive elements, drawing and writing, doodling, image transfer, found objects. I thought that was a very interesting one. The only thing I haven't got on here, I have, there they are. I was going to say is, yeah, buttons and bras and eyelets, dimensional elements. There's just so many different aspects to mixed media. Mixed media simply means more than one media. Now, what is a media? Well, a media is, you know, paper, fabric, you know, paste, paints, all the things, everything you use as a media, okay? Now, we work a lot with paper, don't we, and card, and sometimes fabric if you're using it for your cover. But how often, guys, do you challenge yourselves and like stretch yourselves out into all these different elements? Now, if you watch Steph, who is by no accident is on tomorrow. I had to start the week with her because to me she really inspires me a lot when it comes to mixed media, because everything that she does, it's, you know, layer upon layer upon layer of different media, and she's got it down to a fine art. So if you're looking for inspiration for how to go with mixed media, definitely go over and check out some of the videos on her website. Jez over at Jez Creates is another one. She again works with lots of different mixed media. They are my queens of mixed media. I'm so excited. They're coming to the retreat next month, and they are doing workshops for us. And our theme at the retreat, funny enough, next month is also mixed media magic. So we will be going into all different elements of stuff like this at the retreat, but I'm giving you guys a little taster of it this week. So I'm so excited to see what the girls are going to bring for you this week. But yeah, I've done that for you. That'll be in with the freebies. So if you go over to our Ko-fi page, link is down below, and you will be able to download all of these freebies this week to have a play. Right, I'm going to clear up my desk. I'm going to put this beautiful kit pages out the way, and then we will get on with today's project. Okay, so today we're going to work on some fabric, like mixed media masterboards, we'll call them perhaps, but we need to come up with a better name than that for them. So these are not anything new, they've been done many times before by different people, obviously called different things, but I want to show you like my kind of version of what we're going to be doing. So you'll need some fabric that is just old, anything that you can use as a base. You could do it with paper if you wanted to, but I'm going to do it with fabric today. And then you want to get your scraps out, and we're going to delve through the scrap bundles today to create this project. So I'm going to start off by layering, layering just bits of fabric over my base. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to see any of the base. Now, ironing, good question. It's entirely up to you as to whether or not you iron your fabrics. I find that if you iron your fabrics, they tend to go further and they will stretch further. Now, overlay what you're putting down. Now, you can do this with different ways. There's different techniques and things if you have a good look on the internet, but I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to simply use lots of different fabrics. I'm going to just overlay them. Now, what you can do is you can do a layer where you just, for example, would put like, you know, so say I'm working with blues and pinks, so I would layer my blues down here like this, and then I would perhaps go over then with the pinks and, you know, put them over the top. So perhaps we'll do it that way. So give me a minute. I'm going to just quickly carry on with this a second. Okay, so having now laid out all of our fabrics on our piece of fabric, all our scrappy bits rather. Oh, hang on a second, I can see I've missed a piece there. Let me just pop that in there a minute. And then I need something else small to go in beside it. What have I got here? Oh, a bit of that, that'll do. Just chomp a bit of that off. Right, okay. So as I was saying, now that we've done all of our fabrics and we've laid it all out as we like, all scrappy bits, so you can kind of get the idea where I'm going with this, yeah? Okay, so the next thing that you want to do, now you can, if you like, at this point, or as you're going along, you can put a little bit of perhaps glue stick, maybe Uhu, or I don't know, perhaps not Pritt stick. People don't tend to recommend that, do they? But whatever is your weapon of choice, and you can just put a dob on the back and dob them down, and that'll work great. I know that there's a product that you can get where you can lay stuff on it and then iron it and it like sticks or what have you. Evidently I don't know what that's called, but the next stage is to now cover the top of our fabric with tulle. Now tulle, as the word goes, is not something that I am accustomed to having in my arsenal of stuff. So I was scratching my head earlier on today thinking, oh my goodness gracious me, where am I going to find some tulle to do this? And then I had a harebrained idea. Upstairs in my son's wardrobe is my old wedding dress, which I've been dying to chop into. So ladies, you will all be very relieved to know, especially my admin girls, I finally went upstairs and ripped out the bottom skirt. It made wonderful tulle, girls. So there were actually 2 layers of it there, so there's another layer for me to go back for. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to layer the tulle over the top, and then I'm going to take it over to my machine and I'm going to stitch. First of all, I'm going to stitch around it outside like a frame, and then I'm going to go up and down and haphazard and all different ways and shapes and sizes until it's all secured down. Now, this is a brilliant opportunity for you to use, if you've got a sewing machine, you can do some of your fancy stitches on it. So if I were you, I recommend you use a nice contrasting colour thread that is going to show up. So, you know, perhaps, I think I've threaded blue in. But now I'm looking at it, I probably would have been better off threading in a bright pink or something, wouldn't I? Because I would really see that. So I might go and rethread the machine in a second. But you can do all sorts of things on here then. And then we'll come back and I will tell you a bit more. But just before we do that, there are extra layers that you can, if you wish to, add at this point. So now it would be the time for you to, if you wanted to, add on top then, I don't know, maybe lace snippets, or if you've got... I was thinking perhaps maybe some of this stuff. So I've got a few of these old tablecloths, which I desperately need to iron. I found them in the bottom of my slow stitch bag. But this would be a perfect opportunity now for you to perhaps take some of these lovely embellishments off and, you know, place them on. I think they would make a really bold statement. I mean, especially some lovely little flowers like this. So I'm going to just very quickly cut some of these out and then add them on before I then add on my tulle. And I'll put some bits of lace in, I think, just to really jazz her up a little bit. And then I'll go over to the sewing machine and have a stitch, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do with it, okay? Now, just before I go over to the sewing machine to stitch on my tulle, I just wanted to show you the last bits and pieces that I've added on now. So I've put on some embroidery bits, put on some little sections of lace, one thing and another. I think it's just cheered it up no end now. So I'm going to go and use my bit of tulle. Now you can use netting, you can use, you could use a piece of lace if you wanted to. So if you had a large bit of lace like this or something, you could lay that over the top of it. You could even use vellum. So, I mean, come on guys, this is meant to be our mixed media thing. You know, get your, what's the word I'm looking for? Get your imaginations going and see what you can come up with, because I know not everybody's going to have tulle. The other thing, of course, is you could pop extra bits and pieces inside of here now if you wanted to. You could put like little, what are they called? The sequins inside of here. You could put buttons inside of here. Now I'm going to put my buttons on the top, but all sorts of things that you could add into this lovely little fabricy masterboard. So I'm going to go over to the sewing machine now and I'm going to stitch it up, and then we'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so I have done all of my stitching, as you can see. Let me just bring it a little bit nearer for you. I hope you can see that and the light isn't too dim. But I've done lots of different fancy stitches. I've tried to do it as quick as I can. Obviously, you can spend much more time. If I turn it over, it'd probably be easier to see on the back what I've done. Look, so you can see where I've switched about the stitching and, you know, lots of breaks in the thread, one thing or another. So how am I going to use this marvellous fabric masterboard? Well, I'll tell you now. Oh, these threads are driving me daft. I'm going to have to ignore them because they all add to my what do you call it? My mixed media field, don't they? 'Cause the stitching is mixed media as well, you see. So I was thinking to myself, well, I have this lovely journal here, and I could do two things. First thing that you could do with it is you could use it to line the inside of a journal. You would use it as a cover, of course. That's the obvious answer, isn't it? You could use it as a cover for a journal. That would make an exceptional journal cover, I think. Obviously, I need to cut my tulle to shape. That's the last job you've got to do there. So once you've stitched it in place, then you can cut that down to the edge then. But I wasn't overly worried about doing that because I'm going to be chomping into this now anyway. So yeah, could put it on the inside as a lining, could use it as a journal cover, but I want to make a pocket to go here on the inside of my journal cover. And I have got the freebie, one of the freebies from this week's freebies, and I have printed it out. I've printed 4 to a sheet, so it came out on my sheet like that, look, okay, and I've stitched it onto a piece of lovely fabric, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a section of this now. I just need to decide which section, and then I think this bit by here, and I'm going to use that then to make it the pocket a little bit larger, if that makes sense. So I'm going to cut it down. Perhaps I'll use that bit there because I got those lovely flowers there with the kind of flower edge in there. And then we got a bit of pink and a bit of blue and a bit of pink and a bit of blue. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Now, obviously, the purpose of doing all these extra stitches is so that wherever I cut it, it should then remain sealed and not, you know, be billowing about, basically. But obviously, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So let's just go for it, shall we? How much width have I got there? Let me just double check now, because this is quite a big... So that'll go like that, that'll go like that. Yeah, I reckon I could go to about here, you see. So if I cut this tulle off a minute, bear with. There we go. And then cut across the bottom. So now I'm thinking, quite a deep pocket there, you see. That would be all right, then, wouldn't it? So if I go across the edge here and aim for that stitch there. Ooh, that's paining me to cut into that, but never mind. Be brave, be brave. And then I'm thinking width-wise. Oh, I know I got it upside down. I got it upside down because I'm working. I know this is my edge here, look. So I'm measuring out that way, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Thinking she's lost her marbles. It's okay, it's okay. It's all part of my grand plan. Right, and then making sure I don't cut whatever's underneath. We'll go up here then. I wonder if I can just catch that stitch there. That would be really useful if I can. There we go. Right, let's see how straight I managed that. And I've got... Oh, that would make a lovely belly band, that bit there, wouldn't it? Oh, the possibilities. Of course, you could just use this as pockets and, you know, you could cut it up as you would a masterboard. I'm quite excited by this idea now because I've got lots of ideas going in my head. But stick to what you're doing today now, Rach. Come on, don't go going off piste on us now. Right, let me just trim that tulle there because it's annoying me rather. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Right. Oh, that's perfect. And then just trim that bit across the bottom. So it's so hard to see this stuff. You've got to have a dark background behind you while you're cutting it so that you can see where it is. Otherwise, if you don't hold it up, you can't see, if that makes sense. So there we go. We've got those lovely flowers there, words down the bottom, and then I'm going to put our lovely then, I think it's a hummingbird, isn't it? Oh, look at that. How pretty does that look? I love it. Right, I'm going to just go and quickly stitch that on. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that as a little pocket in itself as well at the front. So we'll have a pocket at the back, nice big pocket there, but tags and other bits of ephemera. And then we'll have, I'll stitch this on 3 sides here. So 2 sec. So there we go. There is my completed pocket. I'm actually really, really pleased with that. Obviously, you can make smaller ones. So if you wanted to make one to go onto a page, I suggest you use a smaller journal card. Oh, sorry, I've moved you out of frame there, guys. I would use a smaller journal card, and then you know, you wouldn't have to cut such a big section then. But I'm very, very excited now to be able to continue creating things like these. Obviously you can make snippets out of these, you can make all sorts of things, but I just think that's just so much fun to just lay it out like that, zip over it with the sewing machine, and then you've got something really beautiful and quite substantial too, I would say. So that'll really, like, especially if you've got a soft cover, it's nice sometimes to put something inside of a soft cover that's going to make the cover feel, you know, more solid and more there, if that makes sense. Now, I'm scratching my brain trying to think, because I'm sure I had something else to tell you before I go. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, giveaways. Right, as we are now moving into the final 5 weeks of the collaboration, as I said, week 10, all changed now this week. So we've got 4 weeks left of, you know, themes. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you understand what I'm saying. Topics, that's probably a better word. And then there's a final week then, which is a very special week. On the final week, you will have videos from myself and Bella. We'll be alternating for the final week. And every video, every day, we will have a giveaway. So I won't be doing weekly giveaways now. We're going to switch now today to the month, and then all of the giveaways will be done in the last week then, on week 5, I believe it'll be, so which is week 14 out of our collaboration. We have got a plethora, oh, there's that word again, of prizes that have been donated from the collaborators. We've got some journals to give away. We've got some ephemera packs to give away, some digital kits. Oh my goodness, we've got so many goodies. It's unbelievable. So usual rules, all you need to do to enter is leave a like on every collaboration video and leave a comment. Now, you can enter multiple times per video, because what I will do is every day that we have a video, I will pick one video out of the previous 4 weeks, and we will use the comments out of that video. You are not limited to 1 entry per video. If you leave 2 comments, you'll have 2 entries, and that's how it works. So it's entirely up to you how many comments you want to leave on people's videos. But obviously, the more people that you comment for, the more opportunity that you have to win a prize and possibly one of those wonderful journals. So I think that's everything. I'm going to leave it at that tonight now. Don't forget to go over to my Ko-fi page and pick up the freebies. Don't forget to go over to Bella's Crafty Studio and check out her video for today, with her using the freebies, her challenge video. And don't forget as well that if you do have a go at any of our projects, make sure you use the hashtag 100daysJJI. And also you can post your makes in our Facebook group. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful bank holiday. Keep safe, enjoy the sunny weather, and we'll be back with you very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.